I don't know how I tried to end the video and forgot to add this. But this was the timeline of when I first talked about how I figured out the fonts and how the fonts made me realize something. So right here it say the Cowboy Carter interlude. And I'm about to play the video so y'all can see. But y'all see the flag, and the flag. Now look, right here she's waving the flag. She's waving the flag right here. She's waving the flag. Right here she's putting the flag down. So my theory is that this was the start, her having the flag up. This was in the middle, her waving the flag within the interlude during the tour, and then this was supposed to be the end. And I'm about to show y'all what I mean, like in perfect view. But it say this would have been the transition into this. Now I didn't know that it was gonna transition like this. All right, right here. Remember she dropped this? She said, "Look at that horse." The beginning. This is the beginning of the video. This the beginning of the video, and this was the end of the video. Remember she gave us this date, 1/14/25. And she gave it to us in red and black with a different style font. And then this is my prediction, The Fire, where I said I feel like this will come for the next commercial. Then we go to the commercials, and like I said, this how it go. Till it go to 9:04 p.m. Now we about to go to the next one. Here we go. Now I said right here, flag up, flag wave, which is the same picture right here. The start of Cowboy Carter, which will be this. The end of Cowboy Carter. The start of Act 3 when she get on the motorcycle. And that's when I said right here where she's putting the flag down. That this teaser was supposed to come after the Beyoncé ball. But remember, Renaissance was supposed to be in this era. And she say, "Look at that horse." And this is why I say this is a transition. So if you look at all of this is supposed to happen with thing Cowboy Carter. But this was supposed to be the beginning of Cowboy Carter. We know the album cover, because I was confused about myself for a minute. And then we know her waving the flag within Cowboy Carter in the Cowboy Carter interlude. So this is all supposed to come within Cowboy Carter. But this would have been, her putting the flag down would have been the end of Cowboy Carter going into Renaissance. So this all supposed to be, this is my theory, but this all supposed to be the transition into Renaissance. And this is why, because when you look at Renaissance going into the new revolution, this is her putting the flag up. This would have been Cowboy Carter. We know that. This is the interlude with her waving the flag in Cowboy Carter. We know that. This is also Cowboy Carter. So my theory is that we would have went through Cowboy Carter first. Act 1. Let's get that out the way. We would have went through Cowboy Carter first. That's Act 1. That is all of this. This is within the interlude. This is the cover of it. We would have went through Cowboy Carter, and then we would have went into Renaissance. Right? We would have went in the Renaissance Act. And everything that happened within Renaissance, like I said, the Verizon commercial, everything like that, the Verizon commercial was Renaissance coded anyway because it had the red house. And the red house also included in Cowboy Carter interlude, Cowboy Carter as well, is like a teaser that I feel like it was supposed to be a part of Renaissance, or at least a teaser towards Renaissance. But we in Renaissance, speaking, just speaking like, for example, we in Renaissance. And when we in the Renaissance era, I feel like something close to the Beyoncé bowl or something like that, but Renaissance coded, or it could have still been Cowboy Carter coded, was going to happen within this era. That's how I feel. And I'm gonna tell you all why. Because this is the era, like I said, this is the era where we got Beyonce and Kendrick. Beyonce did the Beyonce bowl, Kendrick did the Super Bowl, where they both was American flag themed, right? And so we got the remix. It was America Has a Problem. America Has a Problem would have been right on theme with the American flag. Renaissance going into the new revolution. My House going into Act 3, which is why I feel like the Verizon commercial was supposed to be in Renaissance era. This was future based with the AI, the election. I mean, her saying Beyonce of United States, and the phone theme with the futuristic theme of Renaissance. If y'all get what I'm saying. So that's why I feel like My House, everything related to My House, everything was supposed to be the transition into Renaissance from Cowboy Carter. Because I told y'all the background of My House is red. So that would have been the transition to Renaissance. So that's how I just figured it out. Because I was confusing myself for a minute. So this we know is a part of Cowboy Carter. But this would have been going into the end. This would have been the ending. And this, she also played it cool because, she played a trick. Because this would have been the ending. This would have been a representation of the ending of Cowboy Carter. That's how I feel. And I feel like this was supposed to come in between Renaissance going into Act 3. So this was supposed to show that, yeah, the American flag theme is over with, which would have came after everything. So I wouldn't say like right about around this time, but whenever this drop, I feel like I mean, whenever this dropped last year, because this dropped last year. I think this dropped last year when she added the date at the end. Whenever this dropped last year, I feel like this was supposed to drop around or this was supposed to drop around that same time. So if this dropped in December after the Beyonce Bowl, I feel like this was supposed to drop after that. And then that would have been showing like the American flag theme is over with. And now we're going into the Revolutionary Era, which is why I say Renaissance. And I added this going into the Revolutionary Era. And it's no more American flag within Act 3. She probably could still tease it, but I feel like the American flag theme is over with because it was in Cowboy Carter. And then she would have still dragged it to Renaissance when she did a remix with Kendrick. Then she would have did the Beyonce Bowl. He would have did the Super Bowl. And then he did his tour. She did her tour. And then we would have got this. And that would have showed the end of that. And then we would have got this going into the motorcycle Renaissance thing. And that's why we got this teasing the end instead of this teasing the end. This is going into something new, which is why she's walking in on a horse and then leaving out on a motorcycle. So this was the new teaser right here. Her walking in on the horse and leaving out on a motorcycle was the new teaser. But I feel like this was supposed to be a part of the teaser of, okay, now the theme of the theme of the American flag is over with. It's over with. It's the end of that. Now we're going from the revolution now we're going from Renaissance into the revolution. And I said everything goes back to how Renaissance was supposed to come first before Cowboy Carter. And then this was just the video of her flipping the coin. And this is when I say this is a perfect representation of how I feel like she's about to go from out of that calm Beyonce energy into Sasha. And remember, I tell y'all, I told y'all this in the video where I say I feel like 6 inch is related to Act 3. Because I told y'all I feel like she's about to come back with that eyeliner, that black eyeliner. Fun fact, I be scared of people with that black eyeliner. I don't know, they be looking scary with that black eyeliner around their eyes. And this is the coin Be Fierce, 1981. And then them teasing her birthday, she teased her birthday. See, look, feel like she's coming back. She's telling her, like, this is old, but I still feel like this is like a hint that's valid for the future because I feel like she's teasing something coming for her birthday. First of all, we got the money, 1981. The coin, 1981. September 4th, 1981. 9:04 p.m. 9/4, 1981. This Levi commercial, 1994. Haunted, like I said, I feel like Haunted a part of Act 3 too. 94, 9/4, her birthday, and then the time right here on the song Yeah Yeah. And I already told y'all the themes of them. Hold on, let me show y'all real quick. Then this gonna be the end. Alright, now I already told y'all that the covers, the lyric videos, and everything are clues. So when you go to Beyonce's YouTube and then you click releases, and then you go to Cowboy Carter, which is the last album up there since that's the last one she dropped. You go down here, and I told y'all, looking at these, it's American flag theme. This is red, white, keep going, blue, white, red. It's not in the order of when you say red, white, and blue, but it's in the order of red, you know what I'm saying, white, everything like that. This is red, Jolene, and then daughter. Y'all know this is for Miss Tina, and this is for Beyonce, which is why these are red. And then the theme of her interlude is also, when you go to the daughter part and this is theater part, is red. It's mostly red and blood theme based off of this daughter song. Okay, now you keep going. These are white, blue, white. But when you get to the Linda Martell show and go past the Linda Martell show and get into Yaya, this is when I say everything goes red. And I'm gonna have to show you about what I mean by Renaissance. I'm just doing these on the outside of the songs. I would really have to go individually and show y'all every song from the inside of it. And I'm talking about like the visuals connected to the lyric videos. When you see, you probably, okay, yeah, white, old Louisiana white, everything like that. Yes, because she's lining the theme up as American flag, but right here is when it starts red, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. During the concert, Yaya, she does towards that's when she really started playing with the fire, and that's with the piano towards the end. That's with the piano and everything like that. The cigarette, which is why I think all of this is the theme of Act 3. The cigarette, the piano, since I told y'all the cigarette from Haunted. Also, let me go back up to show y'all, and I think I added this in. Did I add this in there? I don't know if I added. Oh, right here. So I think I added this, but I don't think I pointed it out. I'm not sure. But she added the cigarette right here between the lips as the LED light on flamenco. So this could also be like a theme towards Act 3, cigarette. But once you keep going, series, I don't know why Siri always be hopping on. But once you keep going and you look, I said after Yaya, it turns red because I told y'all about the cigarette. I told y'all about everything like that. And then we go into Sweet Honey Bucking. I don't know if I explained that. Did I explain that? I think I explained. Yes, I think I explained that in the real hour long video. That the last one. What was that? When I explained the tour stages, I think I explained it in that one. When I said I feel like it's Sweet Honey Bucking. Did I explain it in that one? I don't remember. It was one of these videos that I feel like I explained how Sweet Honey Bucking. But when we get to the point of Sweet Honey Bucking and Amen, everything is red. I think even the screen things on here. Let me click on Amen. I think even the screen things going up showing the ending, like the ending of a movie, is even red. See, Amen is red, and then the words going up is red. So yeah. Now let me show y'all how I feel like Renaissance would have also been the ending, towards the ending would have been red, but she switched it to this to Cowboy Carter. So that's why she just made the red come towards the end of this to go with Act 3. All right, looking up all the songs, I had to write them down. So it's Move towards the beginning, red. Heated towards the end, red. All Up in Your Mind towards the end, red. America Has a Problem, I think it's towards the end, that's red. Pure Honey towards the end, red. Summer Renaissance, red. And that would have been a transition into My House, which would have been a transition into Act 3 because she's rapping and doing like talking about My House, which she teased in Act well, no, she teased it in Renaissance. Yep, because I put it on here. I just didn't talk about it. Let me go to it right here. But instead, she made the transition from Renaissance to Cowboy Carter when it would have been Cowboy Carter, then My House, then Renaissance. But My House was in Renaissance right here. So it would have been the transition into it, which is why I said that I feel like the Verizon commercial was supposed to come in the Renaissance era. But this is what I also want to point out that I just realized. And I'm about to make a thing real quick and then I'm gonna end off the video because I know I already said that. But I noticed that this say the heat and then the smoke. This could be a representation of heated, which is in Renaissance, and this could be a representation of the smoke hour, which is in Cowboy Carter. So I just realized something, and I'm about to make it really quick for y'all to understand what I say and what I mean when I say that I feel like smoke hour. I mean, not smoke hour. When I say I feel like Sweet Honey Bucking and Renaissance, I mean, and Pure Honey is connected. Something quick that I just made, but this further proves my point. Sweet Honey Bucking. This is a representation of 3. This is a representation of 1, Renaissance, Cowboy Carter, and Act 3. And then this is just basically saying 1, 2, 3. And it made me think about countdown in my head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Y'all know how it go. But yeah, so there's nothing else to be said, but this is what I was trying to tell y'all. I think this is a representation. Because if y'all see what I'm saying, this is not the last one, but this would have been the first one. And it would have been a representation of, I wonder, wait, hold on. Would it have been a representation of Sweet? She do talk about Desert Eagle and all of that. And we already know that was like related to the dessert and whatever. I mean, not Desert Eagle. Wait, was that? Yeah, it was Desert Eagle. What she say in Desert Eagle is related to the dessert. And then Honey, Pure Honey, and then Bucking, Act 3. So this would have been Sweet Honey Bucking. Yeah, I had it right. Because this would have been Act 1, 2, 3. This is the order it would have been in. But 3, 2, 1. So what is this going to be? Is this going to be regular honey, just honey? But that booking also tells me, like I told y'all, I think I did say it when I said that this is going to be the representation of rap. So rap is going to be included in rock, which more proof is My House. Because My House would have been in between Renaissance and this. Hold on, let me add it. All right, there we go. Now I can end it off with a good note. Sweet Honey Bucking. Here we go. It throw you off though, because Bucking got 2 eyes. And now she would have made it 3, then that would have been obvious that this would have been a representation of Act 3. But I still think that Act 3 is going to have some rap in it because of My House and how I said My House was supposed to be in between right here. Transition from Renaissance to the Revolution. Renaissance, New Revolution. 3, 2, 1. I guess I made it off like that because